Welcome back to the channel. What is going on with the goings on in Atlanta, Georgia? Let's get straight into this article. The Fulton County Housing Authority is under fire after allegations of misused federal funds. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development sent a letter threatening sanctions and financial penalties for multiple failures of violations. The Fulton County Board of Commission is stepping in. Mismanagement, sexual abuse, misuse of funds, and there is laundry list of issues at the housing authorities. It noted the agency failed to make on-time Section 8 payments to over 1,000 renters. The majority of the board has resigned except 2 members, including Housing Authority Chairman Antivius Wims. Wims said they've reached out to the Fulton County Commission's office for help, including the removal of a previous board member accused of sexual allegations. Wims said they've been actively working to address the issues. At a certain point, I started saying something is not right here, so I had picked up the phone, called HUD myself. I wanted to make sure of this housing authority and the mission of its protection for the people we serve, he said. HUD has suggested the agency hire a third party to manage programs as well as a long list of other immediate needed corrections. The Housing Authority has been given a deadline of July the 31st to get things right. Let's get straight into it, you guys.
Housing Authority is under fire after some serious allegations, including misusing federal funds. Tonight, we are following a major shakeup with this. Atlanta News First reporter Brittany Ford is at the agency's headquarters, where they're now facing some serious penalties.
Well, the chairman says he actually reached out to HUD himself after noticing some internal issues involving former employees. The county is now stepping in, and there is a ticking clock for them to correct some major issues. This letter, sent by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, threatens sanctions and financial penalties on the Fulton County Housing Authority for multiple failures and violations, including failure to make on-time Section 8 payments to over 1,000 renters.
About mismanagement, sexual abuse, misuse of funds, etc. It's a laundry list of issues at the Housing Authority.
Fulton County has no control over the Housing Authority operations. It's only responsible for designating appointees. Chairman Ron Pitt says they're looking to replace the entire board.
The action that we decided to take was to ask our appointees to voluntarily resign.
The majority of the board has since resigned except 2 members, one of them Housing Authority Chairman Antivius Wims. Reached out to the Fulton County Commissioner's office for help, including the removal of a previous board member accused of sexual allegations.
What we got back was, we don't have any authority over you all. You got to handle it yourself.
Weems says the board has been actively working to address the issues.
At a certain point, I just started saying, something's not right here. So I picked up the phone and called HUD myself.
HUD has suggested the agency hire a third party to manage programs as well as a long list of other immediate needed corrections. The Housing Authority has been given a deadline of July 31st to get things right.
It is a mess that we as a Board of Commissioners are going to have to address it.
Recently, 4 members of the Housing Authority of Fulton County have resigned.
This shakeup coming in the wake of allegations of sexual harassment, financial misconduct, and poor management. 11 Alive's Bobeth Yates has more on what that could mean for people who rely on the board's help.
Fulton County Housing Authority is the worst.
For the past 2.5 years, Aisha Randall says she's been trying to get help from the Fulton County Housing Authority with no success.
I wanted better for me and my daughter, and I decided to come to Atlanta, Georgia, because I thought it would be better. And I reached out to the housing authorities. It took them so long to port me over. I almost lost my voucher.
Randall says the process was so slow that she was homeless for 3 months in 2022, and she says things have only gotten worse.
I lost my voucher because they ain't do the paperwork on time. And it's on the 19th, so it's like they keep taking breaks. What is so many breaks? Y'all have been vacation. Y'all have been on more vacations than me.
The concerns prompted Housing Authority Chair Ontavious Weem to reach out to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And earlier this month, HUD responded, saying the agency could face sanctions and financial penalties for the failures, which also prompted the Fulton County Board of Commission to act.
There was unanimous agreement among the 7 of us that we would ask our appointees to voluntarily resign.
So far, 4 of the 6 board members have stepped down, and Pitt says the 2 holdouts will not stop the reset they say HUD is asking for.
What I've done is schedule a special call meeting for the purpose of discussing issues related to the Housing Authority and the resignations and or removal of the 2 who refuse to resign.
And during that meeting, Pitt says they will appoint new board members. We just heard from Housing Authority Chair Ontavious Weem. Take a listen to how he responds.
I have no intention of stepping down at this point. I am the chairman of this housing authority. This housing authority of fixing the issues. HUD has committed to work with us. We're working. We've actually onboarded all these positions that are critical, such as HR director, such as finance people, and we're having audits done. So the work here is being done.
More resignations and allegations after our exclusive investigation into the Fulton County Housing Authority. New at 6, Channel 2 investigative reporter Sophia Choi first broke the money mismanagement and sexual harassment claims last week. She's live at the Housing Authority in Southwest Atlanta with this exclusive update. Sophia.
Linda, all but 2 board members no longer work here. They resigned, but 2 are holding out, saying they did nothing wrong despite those allegations of money mismanagement and sexual harassment.
The unit was over here. It was a 9-apartment building.
We met Jennifer Gates in North Fulton County, where she used to rent through the Fulton County Housing Authority. She says the Housing Authority unfairly accused her of not paying rent and evicted her in 2016.
I know I paid, and I've been telling them for long, somebody had something somewhere went wrong.
Fulton's Housing Authority gets about $7.8 million of your federal tax dollars through HUD. It gives out nearly 2,000 vouchers a year to offset rent for families in need. But the program is now in jeopardy after county commissioners received numerous complaints from residents, workers, and former board members.
It's a combination of things, the sexual harassment, the misuse of funds, staff not being qualified.
Channel Action News was first to show you this letter HUD sent to Fulton County on June 24th, saying in part, the recommendation for the corrective plan is to procure a third party to manage their program, and the current staff lack the experience in their current roles to correct the deficiencies. The letter does not mention any crimes.
HUD suggests strongly that we reset, that we clean the slate and bring on a whole new board.
So Pitts asked for and got the resignations of all but 2 remaining board members. These are some of the resignation letters.
I will never shy away from fighting for the good people of Fulton County.
Board Chairman Ontavious Weem refuses to leave, saying he's the one who alerted the feds.
I was not getting the answers, Sophia, that I should have been getting. So I picked up the phone. I called HUD.
Weems, a board member since 2018, says the issue started in 2017. Former manager Sharika Bellamy says it got worse under his leadership with a hostile work environment. She says Weems also forced her to use federal money to pay people with no contract with the Housing Authority.
I was walked out the building with the same police officer that I refused to pay the invoices because he did not have a contract.
Bellamy says she was fired for raising red flags. This is video from May when she went before commissioners.
I am your whistleblower.
She says she was fired the next day for being insubordinate in your behavior toward the Board of Commissioners. Ms. Bellamy's attorney filed an EEOC complaint on behalf of her and several other former Housing Authority employees.
This is exactly what whistleblower protection is for, is so that someone like her can come forward and make a complaint and not lose her job.
Weems says it's the very people complaining now that caused the problems.
I'm so excited. I can't tell you how happy I am that this is happening, because now the attention is being set on fixing
the system.
Now in Fulton County, there are concerns around the leadership, staffing, and financing at the Housing Authority. In fact, the entire program could be in jeopardy after a review from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. HUD is actually recommending that a third party take over the Section 8 program. HUD officials say that management in place with the Housing Authority lacks the experience to correct the issues it found during an on-site review. It calls the agency a troubled performer. The Fulton County Housing Authority provides housing to more than 10,000 people. Vice Chair Commissioner Khadija Abdur Rahman says it's time the board takes action, but understands the importance of the Housing Authority.
I've actually been a recipient as a young mother displaced with the Housing Authority. It was the Housing Authority that helped me get back to my road of recovery.
I also wanted to note the process will not affect Section 8 or housing assistance funds. The office will remain open and service will continue. Please comment below and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in.